longer in good health. It is suffering.
Sorry.
Ever-increasing levels of air, water and plastic pollution are creating a menacing chokehold around our quality of life. We are drowning in a sea of waste. Many of us think that there is little we can do to change it. Is that so? As a company, Corsair's mission is to build and develop effective solutions to these threats. Corsair helps the environment by removing plastic waste and then recycling it, by reducing the number of poisonous particles in the air that you breathe daily, and by cleaning our rivers and oceans from toxic pollution. In addition, Corsair aims to reverse climate change and reduce global poverty, helping those in need. Funded by both private investors and a network of environmentally conscious entrepreneurs called Amplivo, Corsair is here to help save our world. We are asking you to join us and clean our planet from the pollution that is killing it. We are asking you to join the fight so that together we can leave a safer and healthier world to our children and future generations. When we work together, we can make a difference. By being part of the Amplivo network and helping others, you also can earn an income, create wealth, and move towards financial freedom. Interested to know more? We thought so. Let us connect. Corsair, for a cleaner future.
Excellent.
Times I watch that video, I never get tired of it. Right. I'm now going to hand over to the man who doesn't sleep, Mr. Jussi Saloranta. He works tirelessly, guys, to make everything better for you guys. So, Jay, I hand over to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Roger. Thank you for a warm welcome, and it's great to see we got almost 50 people here today, taking your time on a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. Thank you very much for all of you to join us today. And yeah, we wanted to talk with you today in a little bit more detail about the recent announcements and the recent launches that we've done regarding the second step of CSR now being developed as a plastic credit. What does that really mean? What are the next steps that we're going to take together? What is going to happen now with the merchant platform? We're going to talk a little bit about the CSR discretionary awards for the ISF token holders, and then generally about the redemption pools and a lot of things today on this call. So thank you very much for you guys for joining us. And also, what we would like to invite you to do is to send us any kind of questions that you guys have. So the chat function, I believe, is working so that you can send messages to the admin, which is in this case going to be Roger, and then Roger can moderate those questions towards the end of the call. But let's get all of your questions that you have also covered during today's call, and start a new fresh week with a clear mind and clear vision on the direction where we're heading. Good. So that's the topic for today. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. And that being said, let's jump right to it. Obviously, there has been a lot of development taking place generally within the company, within our operational side, when it comes to the day-to-day operations of collecting plastic, converting plastic, building the Corsair's day-to-day business further. We didn't have a summer holiday here in Thailand. We kept on moving even during the June, July, August months as fast as we possibly could. And we can see a lot of those efforts now coming into completion. And sometimes I've spoken to some of the guys in the management of the company as well, that every once in a while I have this, it's almost like a feeling that I can feel physically, that it feels like we're pushing and we're working hard to move things forward, but it feels like nothing really significant happened. And I had that feeling a couple of weeks ago, and I begin to realize what that feeling means. And it means that we're moving parallel at the same time with many different topics and areas, which are all arriving into the finishing line at the same time. And this means that we are, within this month of September, we are launching and completing many different areas of our business, many targets that we have worked for the last 2-3 months for. And that's why I would say that this month of September is now shaping up to be one of the most important months that we have had this whole year. And when we talk a little bit more today, and you see what we have already launched today, what is still coming, and what we're going to be completing during this month, you'll realize how important the September 2021 is for our business and will be in the future when we look back to this moment. Good. So Roger also asked me here in the beginning, we had a quick call before this Zoom call today, and what video should we maybe play and so on. And I think the video that we saw today, it never gets old, and you can't see that video too many times, because the reality is, and we many times tend to forget the key and the core of our business. What is it really about? Why are we here? We are here, number one, to clean up this planet from all this poison that is polluting it. Number two, we are here to create a financial freedom for all the people that are working hard to clean up this planet. And every single person who is contributing into this mission deserves that financial freedom. And it depends on your contribution, depends on your involvement and your commitment of how much of that financial freedom will you be earning and receiving in the future. But that is basically the two things that are there. Peter spoke a couple of weeks ago. He said very well in one of the Top Gun calls that in this industry of network marketing, you don't get paid for your time. You only get paid for your results. And I think he's absolutely right on that. And when we think about our core operations of cleaning up the planet, in the same way, we don't get paid for our time. We only get paid for the actual results that we deliver. And that's very important for us to keep in mind. When we work on these things and we talk about these things, I even notice myself that sometimes we forget of what is the reality. And, you know, the world is getting more and more and more polluted with plastic waste. We, especially the ones of us who have been involved in this project for a year or even longer, we sort of, in our mind, we've already reached the point many times where things are already getting better. But unfortunately, in a global scale, they're not. Things are getting worse. And especially during the pandemic and with the COVID situation in general, we've seen the explosion of the plastic waste globally. And I just got a number recently where the global plastic waste production is now reached a moment where it's over 370 million tons per year. When you compare that 370 million tons of new plastic products being manufactured in one single year You compare that one to the total weight of every single human being on this planet, which is about 320 million tons. I mean, it's a ridiculous number. It's like in 1 year, in 1 year alone, we are pumping out more plastic products out there than every single human being weighs together in 1 year. I mean, that's a lot. And especially it's a lot when you consider that about 10% or less of that actually gets recycled. Most of that is still going into the landfills. It gets burned. It ends up into the oceans and so on. And there was some pictures from the Philippines. And let me share that again. We've sort of grown. We've used to seeing these photos. This is Philippines. It's in one of the poorest countries in the world. And yeah, we understand that there is a problem and something needs to be done about this one. But then at the same time, well, here's a little bit closer for you guys. I mean, this is a picture from Serbia. And I know that there was one of the members from France recently shared some pictures from France where there was these rivers, canals, which were full with plastic waste and so on. So this problem is everywhere. And we've sort of grown numb to it because we've accepted that this is just how it is. Let me just share. Here's a great, or not great, but quite shocking video of of this lake in Serbia. Okay, let me share this one here. I mean, you just look at that. Sorry, it's loading here. Sorry, guys. Let's see if we can make this one work. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, like it says here, that's an ecological disaster. Very well said. That is the situation, guys. That is the reality. And, you know, when somebody tells you or gives you a sort of an indication that the plastic waste problem would already have been sort of sorted out or it's getting better, no, it's not. It's getting worse. That's the reality. So what can we do about this? What can we together do about this? That's the big question. And we, as a community today, are among one of the very few people around the world who are actually doing something about this. Not just talking about it, but actually doing something about it. And I know that there are a lot of people around the world who feel that someone needs to do something. When they see so when people see these photos, when they see these videos, the natural reaction for people is that somebody needs to do something. But what they're really saying is, how can I do something? What can I do to help on this process? And until now, there has been very few options where anyone could actually do something until now. And the private people, the private individuals like us on this group today, we can come together and we've now started to contribute. We're cleaning up a as much as and fast as we could, and we're doing things. But that is still just a very, very, very small amount of people when we look at the global scale. The launching of the merchant platform that is going to happen still this month is going to be something that is going to open up larger forces to be able to come and join this mission. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I very strongly believe that we're going to see a larger growth in the community effort than we've ever seen before, when we allow corporations from around the world to start actually taking part on this mission as well. So just to sort of open up our eyes again on what is really happening. Now, in the meantime, we are actually doing something about it. And what you can see here, this is a good photo as well, because it sort of shows in a very practical form the daily progress. So you could say that in this pile of plastic, which is here on this forklift, there is roughly about 400 kilos of plastic on that. So you could say that this here is one person's plastic waste from around 8 years of life. So in average, that is how much plastic waste you generate in 8 years, right there. And again, when we looked at as a bigger picture, in this truckload, we have about 25,000 kilos. Let's get a really good, there we go, that's a good photo. 25,000 kilos in that truckload. That means that this is the lifetime plastic garbage made by 5 people. 5 people, all right? How many are we in this call right now? Roger, how many people are we together? I cannot see it from right now here.
We're 59.
59, okay. Well, that gives you an easy way to do the math here, okay? So altogether, you would need more than 10 trucks like this, lined up, side by side, just to cover the amount of plastic waste that we together on this call today generate during our lifetime. And that's the magnitude of this problem that we're doing. But we as a group are among the very few on this world who are actually doing something about this right now. And for that, we can all pat ourselves to the backs, congratulate ourselves that we've actually taken that step. But we need to speed up this process. We need to speed this process up, obviously for our personal, our business benefits, but most importantly, we need to speed up this process for the humanity and for our planet. And we are involved in such a rare, unique opportunity, which is the Corsair Amplivo concept, where by helping others to survive on this planet, by cleaning up our environment, by helping others to succeed in their business and grow financially, you're also helping yourself. And that's a really, really unique product. I couldn't find any other business opportunity or business model that would be so powerful in all together on everything that we're doing right now. And I've said this before, that I've had meetings in the morning with an environmental organization, and in the afternoon with some of the corporate executives from an oil company. people who would normally fight against each other and argue continuously. And now we're meeting with these two groups, and they are both telling us how great job we're doing and how much they love what we're doing. So I mean, that is a really unique package that we have in our hands. And I wanted to use these first minutes of this call just to remind ourselves, what is it that we're really doing? How important our mission is and how amazing it is altogether. And the opportunities that are out there right now is just massive. The magnitude is amazing. So let's jump now into the topic of CSR. And what you are going to see in the next coming weeks is the full-scale rollout of the CSR plastic credit concept. Very important that we get as much information around that one and about that one now. So you have heard about the launch of the merchant platform. This means that CSR is now becoming a properly established payment method. What does it mean? How is the merchant platform really going to work? Well, in a nutshell, next week, we're going to open up the registration for merchants to start joining into the platform. This means that any company can register and open up their own profile page on our website. They can identify the basic details of their business, what kind of products they're selling. They can add up, probably not on the first stage, but they can very soon, they can basically have their own, like a Facebook page. They can basically put out there all their products, talk about their services, pictures, so on and so on. And they can truly introduce their business to the world. They will have to disclose how many kilos of plastic waste are they generating per month. And this gives all of us as a community the ability to see and to calculate their plastic waste footprint. And we can also see how long the company has been established and now how much plastic waste are they generating per month. Also, they will then identify how many percent from the sales of their products and services are they willing to accept CSR as a payment method for. The minimum will be 10%, but the merchant can freely choose that, okay, we are happy to accept 20%, 30%, 50%, 90% in CSR in exchange for their products and services. And that means that from that moment onwards, any member of the CSR community can actually start using that company, using that shop, using that business, that restaurant, hotel, online store, whatever it would be, support them and pay for the products and services partially with CSR token. My target is that within the next 12 months, we will have 1,000 merchants around the world, at least. And I know that there is already a lot of merchants that have already been spoken to, and they're waiting for this platform to open. So this will be a really exciting moment when we start to see the merchants coming on. For the merchants, it is a great benefit. Number one, to be able to access such a committed group of people as we are all together as a community, because that obviously brings them business. So it's a win-win situation, because if you think about it from the merchant's point of view, somebody asked me like, okay, why would a merchant join this program? Why would a company become part of this? Well, let's think about that for a second. If you have a business, if you have a shop, and many of you do have companies, if somebody comes to you and say, hey, Roger, you have a hotel and we have a club of about 50,000 people right now. And we're growing. Maybe end of this year, we're going to be close to 100,000. Next year, we're going to be 200,000, 500,000, 1 million, 5 million, so on. Would you be willing to give a small discount for our club members if we bring you new business? Meaning that we don't come there and stay for free, but we'll come to your hotel, we'll pay for the room night, but would you be willing to give us 10% discount? Especially during these times, I can tell you that basically every single company in the world will welcome that kind of a deal. Well, in this case, the merchant doesn't even need to give away that discount. Instead, they can now choose to receive 10%, 20%, 50%, whatever they feel comfortable with, in CSR token instead, which means that they hold those tokens. If the CSR price on the market, the value goes up, they could sell those tokens on profit. If they hold on to them, and as long as they hold on to them, they can claim those tokens as plastic credits against their plastic waste footprint. So it really is a win-win situation. But what happens here is that the companies that take the plastic neutrality seriously, and I know that this will be a great marketing thing for any business out there. When they show us, okay, we make 100 kilos of plastic waste per month, this means that we need to acquire 1,000 CSR tokens per month altogether. 1 kilo of plastic waste removed from the environment allows Corsair to release 10 CSR tokens. 1 kilo, 10 CSR tokens. So if you have 100 CSR tokens, those 100 CSR tokens represent a total of 10 kilos physically removed from the environment. So this business that starts to acquire these CSR tokens will then become plastic neutral once they have offset their monthly output of plastic garbage. And through the ranking system and through the reward system for the merchants, we can bring additional visibility and recognition for those companies. Meaning that if and when a company reaches a plastic neutrality state, we can push them up on the rankings, we can bring them advertisement, we can bring them visibility, we can promote them. The amount of social capital and the amount of community support that a company will get from this action can grow to become a massive, massive part of their business. And I've said this before, and I'll repeat it again, that I truly believe that we are months away, not years away, but months away from some of the largest brands around the world starting to join into this program. Because it is extremely valuable for any company out there to be able to say, here is our 10 million CSR tokens. Here is the public wallet address. You can go, you can verify it's there. And this proves that we as a company, we as a Coca-Cola or Hilton or whatever major company it would be, we are now directly responsible of removing 1 million kilos of plastic garbage from the environment. And a lot of companies in today, a lot of business, a lot of consumers on today's world will look at companies based on what are they doing for the community? What are they doing for the environment? Are these guys just polluting, or are they actually doing something good? And more people are making their purchase decision based on what the company actually does, not the products they manufacture, But what does the company actually do? Keep in mind, Coca-Cola and Nestle are today the largest plastic polluters in the world. And when you look at the top 10 list, you got all of your favorite brands in there, among the top polluters of plastic garbage in the world. And when we have introduced this solution for these major brands now to actually show physical effort without having to do the work themselves, guys, we are going to be in for a ride. That I can tell you. Now, for you as an influencer, what is really important here is that obviously more companies joining into the merchant platform means that there's going to be usability for the CSR token, which brings the CSR onto a whole new level as a credible token out there on the market. But you as an influencer will be now able to offer these tokens and the plastic waste footprint reduction service to companies as well. And I can tell you now that we have, this week, we have registered a company already in Europe, which is specifically there with European bank accounts built for a way where any company in Europe or any other part of the world can now receive an invoice from a European company to pay for a package. And they can receive an invoice, they can receive the receipts, we will have the VATs properly paid, all the taxes are paid properly, and then that means that any company around, especially in Europe in this case, will be able to start buying the packages from you as an influencer to start reducing their plastic waste footprint. And this was very important that we have the proper banking system in place, and we have the proper taxes are being covered in the right way. And there's a company now with the IBAN bank account that can do these sales. And the commissions and everything from this is paid completely normally, like it's paid according to the compensation plan. So this also means that private individuals towards the end of this month will also be able to start purchasing packages by using a European bank account and just simply sending the money into the bank account, buying a package, and from there the commissions are generated. So we're going to have in the next couple of days more information. We'll give a proper introduction on how this one works, what are the processes to do this. But we have worked for several months to bring the company structure on what we're doing onto European soil so that we are really registered in Europe. We have a European bank account. We pay taxes like we need to pay, and we become properly established as a European business. So this will be very important when we now go into the merchant platform and we start talking to corporations. And we're ready to move forward now with that arrangement as well. So this is a big step forward as well. So when we now look at what's going to happen and what I believe it's going to happen, obviously we don't have unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball here. I can't tell you exactly, but this is the direction and this is what we are aiming for. Number one is to start registering merchants, simply bringing them into the platform who are accepting CSR token as a payment method and who are now disclosing publicly the amount of plastic waste that they generate. And then we help those companies to become plastic neutral. They can Number one, they can buy the token from the exchange. Number two, they can receive the tokens as a partial payment. And number three, they can buy packages from the Amplivo influencers. And by doing that, through the redemption of the free loyalty points, they can receive the tokens in the same way as well. So I'm telling the same thing for you guys in a few different words, in few different ways, just as we all get a clear understanding on what are the most important steps on this one. And within this month, we can start to bring these companies in. I honestly believe that in the next few months, by the end of this year, we'll already have at least a couple hundred merchants in there. And that means that you can already start using these businesses online and physically visiting these companies and using their products and services. And that'll be a huge, big step for the CSR and the usability and the credibility of the token. Good. Now, as we are on this topic, this also means that we are registering CSR soon to other exchanges. I can tell you already, we are in talks with several international digital currency exchanges. And it is just a question of time of when CSR will be listed on several other digital currency exchange around the world. And the fact that everything that we're doing right now with the merchant platform, with the usability, documenting the information, is helping us on that road. And the communication that we've had, the responses that we've received from these exchanges has been extremely positive. And just yesterday, I had a call with a gentleman from the US who has been involved with several large-scale blockchain operations and is an advisor for companies like Netflix and so on and so on. And he said after the call, he said he wants to really congratulate us on a fact that our core business was in place before we went global with our token. He said he's been seeing so many different projects out there that just come out with a token with no real business. And 99% of those are built on smoke and mirrors. But the fact that we have our core business in place, which means that we are, as of today, we are on a day-to-day basis, we are actually taking the plastic from the environment, turning it into oil. We're cleaning up the environment, turning something completely garbage, something with no value, turning it into value. And as he said, when this foundation is now in place, we can build anything on top of it. As long as everything that we do, everything that we say is based on the reality, not in some kind of a crazy dream. So that being said, what we are now going to be doing is we're going to start to create more detailed processes how we document the data, so that we have a data collection system in place from documenting every single kilo that comes out from the environment. And this will be a hugely important thing for our future development, where people can see they can see the actual data flow. Where did we collect the plastic from? At what time? What date? I mean, I want to put the coordinates in it. Like this is the actual, from this location we took it. Maybe not exactly this meter, but from this landfill, for example, we took the plastic out from the environment. And then from there, it went into this factory where it was removed finally from the environment when we converted into oil. And we have a flow of data that goes through this process. And by doing this, what we really want to build is the so-called gold standard in this industry, because nobody has done this before. there is no existing company out there who has done this already or who has this system in place. What we're building, and I want to open up a little bit about the vision on this one. What we're building here is the market standard for future. In the same way, like market standards have been built into the carbon credit system. If you look at what's happening with the carbon credit system around the world, you have already existing established companies who are doing the monitoring, the data collection, and they are considered reliable operators to verify those created credits and the creation of the green electricity and so on and so on. What we want to do is we want to establish the playground and the framework, not only for us, but for the entire future industry in this area. And when we do that, it helps us to work together with the regulators around the world who are going to make the plastic waste regulations for companies to become mandatory. Right now, all of these operations are voluntary operations. But I guarantee you that in the next couple of years, it is going to become a mandatory by law that you as a company are being measured about the plastic waste that you generate. And you, by law, are required to use one of the internationally established standards to offset your plastic waste footprint. We want to be that standard. Okay, so in other words, we are building the platform not only for us, but for the entire market, for other companies as well. And CSR now has the potential to become a globally used plastic credit, not only for Corsair, but for every single other chemical recycling company out there, right? And when we start looking at the opportunities that that brings for us, guys, now we're talking big. Because when you have companies that are multi-billion euro businesses, for example, buying the oil made from recycled plastic waste, we can combine the oil with the credits. And like I said, it's a matter of months that we're going to start to see large-scale brands in this. But I see a future where the CSR token is used by the largest oil companies and the largest plastic manufacturing companies around the world. And we're operating on a governmental level where the CSR becomes the gold standard of plastic credits, from the data collection, when we pick it up from the environment, all the way to the small companies that are using the CSR on a daily basis to offset their plastic waste footprint. And right now, it is a voluntary system, but give it a couple of years and it will become mandatory by law. Okay, so we are here holding on our hands something that I don't think any one of us really understands how groundbreaking, how world-changing, and how massive this opportunity is, guys. So, we've been practicing a little bit around there. We've been doing this little bit thing, a little bit here, a little bit there. Guys, we've been scratching the surface of what this is going to be. And the best part here is that we're not in a hurry. This is not a 100-meter quick sprint. No, this is a marathon. And we have shown for the world in the last 12 months since Corsair launched the operations, okay, a little bit over 13 months, we've shown for the world what we are capable of doing in such a short period of time with so limited resources, okay? And when I look at what we have done and what the other players on the market are doing, okay? There is a company from Norway, I can tell you this, which is the only company in the world right now in the chemical recycling industry that is listed on the public stock market. And that means that obviously they have access to a lot of funding, but they also must report their results and their production every 3 months by law because they're on the stock market. So that gives us great data, great way to compare ourselves to another company. And sometimes people ask, who are your competitors? Well, we don't really have competitors. You know, we would have competitors if we were running out of plastic waste. You know, if there's a limited amount of resource and we're all running after that same resource, but obviously that's not the case. Like, we're not in competition with anybody, right? I would say that we are running mates, right? We're all there running together towards the same target. And it's a friendly competition, but it's not really a competition in terms of the business. But it's great for us to look at the other companies so we know where are we in the race, right? It's still good to see that one. It's not like we're competing with these companies, but it's good to see who is leading. Number two, we can see how much have we done and how much have these guys done. So when we compare our production from the last 3 months to the production of the company from Norway, I've said this before that I think we're making more oil than they are, but now I know for a fact that we are. We're actually making about the double of the oil than they are. And interesting about that one is that they have had nearly 130 million euros in budget, in resources to build what they're doing, compared to us with a few million. I mean, the numbers, they are so completely different. You know, we are still patching things up with the insulation tape and, you know, shoestrings. That's what we're doing. We're operating in such a with so small resources still today compared to the other companies on the market. But what we have been able to put together and achieve and the results that we've generated in our first year, especially knowing that, is really, really, let's say, tremendous. And that builds credibility on everything that we do. And other companies around the world are starting to see that. And that's why we're bringing in these partners. That's why we're bringing in these people in and more funding. And I see a great growth for the network because we have not only talked the talk, we have walked the walk. We've actually done what we say we're going to be doing. But still, we're just scratching the surface. We're just getting started. And that's a great thing about where we are. The opportunity is so massive, and we're just in the beginning of it right now. So that brings us now to the personal involvement from every one of you guys. What is your target by the end of this year? What do you want to achieve personally? How do you see yourself being involved in this new world that we are opening up right now? Because I can tell you that this is happening. There is nothing slowing us down. There is nothing holding us back anymore. We have now we've come out to the world. We've been recognized. We are receiving a certain amount of credibility now as an operator on the market. And now we're going to take the next step to go into the companies, offering them the opportunity to join us and help us on this mission. Where do you see yourself on that? What is your target that you want to start receiving from this business as a personal income per month? I would like you to talk with your sponsor, talk with the leaders, the top leaders. What is your target? How much monthly income are you expecting to receive this month? And what is your target by the end of the year? What is your target 1 year from now? Where do you want to be in your personal growth of financial freedom? And obviously you have several areas that you can benefit from. It's the active income from the network that you do and all of us do on our daily work. It's the passive income coming from the growth of the network. And I have some news for you about this one as well. Number 3, it's your CSR holdings. How much can we bring value to the CSR so that this begins to grow? I see a great market value for the CSR with all of these things that are happening right now. And number 4 is your ownership of the company. And we're going to roll out that one with a proper plan for you guys soon as well. This means that you as a person have the ability to earn active income from this business while at the same time building your fortune. Your fortune in the CSR token holdings, as well as your ownership of the company in actual shares. So that all together, the financial opportunities that are there combined to the mission and what we are really doing to clean up this planet makes this so unique opportunity. And we're also going to be introducing for you guys soon a couple of developments, improvements to the compensation plan. We are at the very end of this process right now. And this means that we are going to be further recognizing the active people who are building teams and leading those teams. So there's going to be more incentives, more bonuses, and more rewards being generated for team leaders who are actively building their organizations and participating in the global expansion of the company. So we see all these things that needs to be also developed, needs to be fixed. We've done a great amount of work in the last few months on organizing and reorganizing the company, getting everything fixed, getting all of our brains and minds focused on what is really important. And now we're getting into those small little sort of details. And we want to make the compensation plan even better for you guys so that we can really start to see people making a life-changing amount of money from this business. And while we're doing that, we're all moving forward towards financial freedom in our lives. Good. Roger, do we have some questions that we received?
We have some questions here.
Please.
Right. One from Dagmar here. Do I understand this correctly? Does this mean we can buy packages like you would buy on Amazon, on like an online shop or whatever? This
Yes.
is meaning pertaining to the new company in Europe, of course,
Yes. So basically the way that it's done, especially when selling for the companies, there is basically a web shop, and it's going to be done very similarly to Ecovo, but that means that you will be able to buy these packages by paying as a bank transfer, paying for an invoice, as well as we're going to be introducing card payments and other payment methods, both for the companies as well as for the private individuals.
Okay. Now, I'm not really sure. Dagmar, again, I'm not really sure what you mean by regulators like cradle to cradle. Could you explain that or expand on that, please? Oh, now this is to do with the... Sorry?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I've asked Dagmar to expand on what she was asking. Someone here has said, if my current ISF's been redeemed from previous ORTPs, do I need to tick redeem FLPs in application? This must be the new application announced on Friday.
Right. Let's talk about that a little bit, and I'll try to answer Dagmar's question as well. So I don't know the exact term of cradle to cradle, what that really means, but I do believe that the plastic credit and the plastic waste footprint recognizing system will become a mandatory thing within companies in the same way like the carbon credit has been growing and been established over the recent years. And with any one of these new sort of industries that is emerging, there needs to be a globally accepted, transparent, reliable data collection system. And that's what the blockchain today offers us. For example, the carbon credit system today still is basically done in Excel files. It's a manual process, but all of this is moving into the blockchain as we speak. And the fact that we are starting from the blockchain, we are creating a system and a platform which is based on the most reliable, secure data collection and recording platform. I mean, that will be a massively easy way to other companies and regulators to adapt as we're moving forward. But we want to create that gold standard of this is how it's supposed to be done, and then work with the regulators to start implementing it in different parts of the world. That's basically where we're heading with this one. Now, regarding the redemptions and awards, let's talk about that one shortly. Basically, what happened is that on, I believe it was a couple of days ago, the new simplified way of you to apply for the CSR discretionary award was launched. So this means that if you have ISF tokens from the past, you can now use that, call it wizard, it's like a form, to easily apply for your CSR awards. If you have already done the CSR award together with the support staff of Amplivo, please don't do it again. You're okay, you're set. But if you haven't done it again, now this will be a simplified way for you to do that. It's currently out there online for you to use in English language. And I believe that by the middle of next week, we are going to have it in many other languages as well. It's been already translated into several languages, and we're continuing to translate it into more, so that you can then have this information in your native language. So if you haven't done the application for the award, please do it now. This is very important, so we get all of you guys sorted out. Also, as has been informed, is that as has been informed by our IT team, tomorrow on Monday, we're going to officially open and launch the CSR portal. And there's going to be a separate official announcement about it as soon as it's open. But this basically means that everyone who has made any of the award applications, or anyone who has redeemed any of your free loyalty points for the CSR token, you will be able to log into the portal website, and you will be able to see your progress of redemption or award. And logging in there will be very simple. You go to the website, you enter your email address into the box. You need to put in the email address that you have associated, connected with your Amplivo account. Once you put in the email there, you get an email sent to you into your email box with a login link. You just click the link, and that'll take you inside your account, your back office in the portal. This is how you log in every time. So you don't have to create a new username, a password, KYC. We don't need any of that. Just the most simplest way for you to log in there, as long as you got access to that email. And what happens then is you can go there and you can see all of these redemptions. And what's really important, and we will emphasize this next week, is that we need you to insert your CSR wallet address. So whatever wallet address, we need to put it there so we know where we're going to be sending your CSR. Now, what's going to happen inside the portal is we have a few different pools. So all of you are part of these redemption pools, and you will have a number of tickets. You can imagine in the same way, like when you walk into the bank and you take a queue number 427. You know, usually at that's the number I get, and there's like number 2 on the board there. So you know you're going to be there for a while. But you got those numbers, and you will receive a 1 ticket for every 5,000 CSR tokens that you are expecting to receive, that you are redeeming, or you are expecting an award for. And all those 5,000 CSR tickets are randomized in the pool with other members. So for example, if you are expecting to receive 10,000 CSR, you will have 2 tickets, 5,000 CSR each. If you're expecting to receive 50,000 CSR, you got 10 tickets, 5,000 of each. And now they're all separated, all randomized. This is done for the reason that we have people, some of the members who have large amounts and some who have very small amounts. So we don't want to be stuck on one member who are expecting to receive many CSR tokens while others have to wait. So that's why we randomize them. And then we're going to be starting to distribute the CSR token every week as we now move forward. On the same website, you will be able to see the weekly collection of plastic from the environment, how many tokens are being released, and all this information will be there for you available to see. And then you can track your progress. So also now, by launching this portal, basically the entire history is now being organized. It's not cleared yet because people haven't received their tokens, but it's organized. And you can track your progress. You don't have to worry, when am I going to get my tokens? Am I going to get my tokens? How many are there? You can see all of them listed on the page, and you can see yourself moving up on the queue every week. So this is a very important thing that's going to be announced now on Monday. And then I know that there's going to be a moment, probably a couple of weeks of a little bit maybe confusion when people are logging in there and they want to know how it works. But give it a couple of weeks, give it a month, and this will be very simple, very normal procedure for everyone. And that means that we have then cleared and we have organized the history, and now we can all start focusing on the future. But also new customers who are coming in, who are buying packages, they can also track their progress there. But they will be able to receive them a little bit faster as they are coming onto these monthly and weekly pools. We'll talk about this more next week. But once you have been able to log in there, you see how it works. It'll make total sense for you. Good.
Right.
More questions, Roger?
There's an early question here, which I'll answer here. And there was 2 things, redeemed FLP and purchased FLP. Now, what this means, guys, is in the award process, is if you bought a package and you got FLPs, that's you redeemed FLPs. Now, the other part of that, purchased FLPs, is the purchased FLPs part is if you've purchased, ISFs. If you've purchased ISFs off an exchange or something like that. So you just need to segregate the 2. Don't worry about it. If all your FLPs are just from a package you've bought, or, you know, your ISFs were from a package that you'd bought and redeemed FLPs, it's only if you'd purchased ISFs off an exchange, etc., would you need to worry about the second part. Okay? Right.
Great.
More questions. Oh, well, you've been answered about the CSR. Mine are still pending. Those have been answered now, so you know that the process has started. Okay, they keep repeating. Then yeah. Oh, Rene wants to know if he can share his screen. Yeah, of course you can share your screen, Rene, to show the people
Please.
To the website.
There you go.
Yeah, it's very simple. I have recommended people that they can go to academy.amplivo.com, and then you find the resources. And when you click on the resources, you have the CSR awards application. And when you click on that, it's quite simple that you can fill in your email address and follow the steps. That's only for the people who has not yet had the award of the ISF. So there you are.
Great. Thank you very much, Rene. Any more questions?
Dagmar, no, you don't have to send the wallet address to the back office. You can do that in this new application. Am I correct with that?
Yeah,
yes.
At the CSR portal. Once you log in there, there's a box that says your CSR wallet address, and that's where you just copy paste it, and that'll go into the system.
After I purchased a package, I was awarded FLP, but all of a sudden the FLP disappeared from the wallet. Is there anything wrong? Well, no, but I'll let Jay actually elaborate on that.
Right. So on the May 15, what was done is that we basically closed the so-called pioneer phase of our business. So May 15 this year, a lot of people had FLP on their accounts, which they had not redeemed. So what we did is we automatically we placed all of those free loyalty points into the redemption pool with a special redemption rate of 100 CSR tokens per one free loyalty point. So anything that anyone had at that moment in your accounts went directly into the redemption. And when you log in now to your CSR portal, you're going to see all of them there. And you, as being part of the early movement of our company, you received that special 1 to 100 redemption rate. And as you know, since then, we have moved into the 1 to 50 redemption rate, which is there right now, at least until the end of the year. So anyone before that received that, and you will see them into the once you log into the portal. Roger, you're muted.
Yeah, I know. I get that in stereo just now. Okay.
There you go.
Just to let you know, I think that's just about all the questions. I think that's answered everyone's questions because someone's come back and they were repeating, but it's about the CSR, etc. And the process, guys, as Jay said, it's in a pool and they're happening. So when you log into this, into the portal that Rene showed you, you're going to be able to, once you've all registered in there, you're going to be able to see. And for each 5,000's worth of CSR to be awarded, you'll get a ticket. And that's simple, straightforward.
Yes.
Okay.
Another important thing, just to highlight on this one before we finish off, if we're done with all the questions. So if you still have something, please send them in, and we want to cover every question before we finish today. But one thing that we are going to do now in terms of continuation, and this is very important for you as an active influencer in the Amplivo network. So far, as you obviously know, the volume and the revenue in your organization has been primarily made from single purchases. There's a one-time purchase of a package happening there. What we need to do now is we need to move away from that into a more of a long-term solution. And what does this mean in reality? It means that we are going to introduce a payment plan for all companies as well as for all the new members of the network and the members of the community. Because now when you calculate your plastic waste footprint, that will be between 4,000 to 5,000 kilos during your lifetime. That means that you need, as a private individual, you need 50,000 CSR tokens in order to become plastic neutral. And when we go out there, we talk to people about this mission and everything that we're doing. The concept for somebody, idea of somebody joining into this mission is not for them to join to eliminate 1 year of their plastic waste footprint. No, or 10 years. No, the idea for anyone wanting to help on this mission is to become plastic neutral. That's why you're joining in, right? I mean, like, what's the point of me saying, yeah, I want to help the world and I want to clean up my plastic waste, but I only want to clean up half. The other half, keep it. I don't want to clean that, keep it. I want to leave that for the next generations, make sure that they know I was here. They can see at least my garbage. I only want to clear half. No, what's the point on that one? The whole mission is about cleaning, first of all, your plastic waste footprint, and then helping others to do the same. And now also helping companies to do the same. So, but I also understand that for someone to join in, acquire a €1,000 package, which will give them the 1,000 free loyalty points, which will then give them 50,000 CSR, is not something that you're able to do right away. 100% understood. So what we want to do now is we want to create a payment plan. And what we'll do is we'll have a payment plan where you can set up your own speed, your own schedule, your own target. So that when you join this mission, you decide what is the first step that you want to do. Is it a €10 package? You want to eliminate 1 year? Or a €100 package? Or a €500 package? Whatever it would be, whatever is the amount of plastic waste footprint that you want to eliminate on your first step, that's where you get started. And then the next question is, how much per month would you be feeling comfortable with of contributing to this mission for us to clean up the planet? Is it €10 a month, €50 a month, €100 a month, whatever it would be? And we'll in the back office that we're going to introduce now, it's a system where you can trace progress. You can set up your target to say, I'm comfortable of putting in €50 a month. That's what I can do. I feel good with that. Let's do this. And now you have a payment plan every month to contribute with that €50. And eventually you work your way to become plastic neutral. And you have a simple sort of a graph where you can track your progress. And most importantly, if you make a commitment to a payment plan and you follow the payment plan, we'll give you bonuses. So if you miss a payment, you don't get penalized, but you don't get a bonus. If you stick with your payment plan, you get bonuses. Now, what's the target? What's the end goal from this one? Well, number one, it's the basic mentality. When someone joins into this mission, their target must be to become plastic neutral, not become half neutral or 10% neutral, plastic neutral, but in whatever time and schedule they feel comfortable with. For you as an influencer, this means that you are going to start to see recurring income, residual income monthly from your networks, which means that your commissions are becoming monthly, not just based on new packages being sold or growth of new members. No, we need to bring in the monthly residual income, not only from private individuals, but also from companies. And this will be the future of how the Amplivo network is going to function. And like I said, we're going to be implementing these now into some of the improvements we're going to do for the compensation plan to really start providing monthly solid, continuous income for you as a influencer of the Amplivo network, coming from both private individuals and companies. And we'll build the platform so that it's rewarding, it's fun, it's motivating, and people will then be able to follow this and track their progress. Good.
Right, just to confirm here, yes, you explained it there, David. 1 ISF equals 1 CSR in the award process.
Correct. Okay.
Petra says she's very happy with what's going on there. Good on, Petra. And last but not least, I think, Jay, just reconfirm, was at the end of the month, you think the bank accounts, etc., will be up and running for people to purchase with like bank transfer?
Correct.
Credit cards will come soon after that. Is that correct?
Yes, there's the credit cards has a bit of a challenge, but we're working around it. Not to go too much into details, but credit card companies basically have a way to enforce a sort of a drawback, so that if you pay something with a credit card, especially if it's an online product and you're not happy about it, you actually got, I think it's up to 6 months, you can actually ask that money back. And that's a problem for obviously any company like us who pays 50% in commission, because we pay the commission out right away. And there's a lot of frauds, there's a lot of misuse on this, where companies can really go into a hard situation if they're getting attacked by, for example, fraudulent use of the credit cards. But we are working around this. We definitely will have the credit card options to come in, and we're working together with the service providers to make sure that we have a way to maneuver so that we can take credit card payments without having a risk of this sort of a drawback happening and causing damage to you or to the company.
Okay. That actually
maybe a little bit too much information you guys even need, but just to see, this is the kind of stuff that we always have to deal with. So when can we pay with credit card? Well, we can, but we got to work out the background as well to make sure that we're doing it safely.
Oh, cradle to grave, general means from start to end of process. Hope
right.
That helps.
Okay, great.
Okay, that's what Dagmar. I think that's been covered basically. Sorry, that's just been. Thank you, Dagmar, for putting that on the phone.
Sure.
I think that's all the questions now answered.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that was we were able to cover a lot of it in 1 hour and 15, 20 minutes. So I think that's good for this Sunday. And I want to thank you guys again for taking your time and joining us. And most importantly, thank you for being part of this very important